Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of High Levels Affiliate Insider, where we show you how to unlock your untapped affiliate potential. Today, I have with me Connor Zarou. He's a prolific digital marketer and one of our up and coming high level affiliates with a really interesting story and social media strategy. Welcome to the show, Connor.
Thanks for having me, Kelsey.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a bit before the show or before we started recording, we were talking a bit about your background, and I love this story. Can you tell us a bit about how you found high level and what you did before high level?
Yeah. So I was planning on becoming a civil engineer. So I went to UConn to study civil engineering. That's kind of just what I landed on. I was always good at science, math, and all that stuff. And I figured that was a good field to go into because like engineering makes a lot of money. So that was kind of what I wanted to do. And then halfway through, I'm at UConn, halfway through, I realized like I don't know if this is really what I want to do anymore. I Working a 9 to 5 really wasn't something I wanted to do so much. And halfway through, I realized like, wow, like I just don't really love engineering like I used to. But I was already kind of too deep to like drop out at that point. I'd already spent too much money on my degree. Unfortunately, I went to a really like expensive school, which I wish I didn't, but it's too late to go back now. But yeah, so halfway through, I realized like, okay, this is not something I want to do, but I just have to finish it. I just have to, spend the next two. I'll get my degree and then I can figure it out from there. So I spent the next 2 years, got my degree. And then right as I graduate, I got some job interviews lined up and I interviewed at a couple different places. I ended up a getting accepted for a position, but that position didn't start for like 6 or 8 months. So I told myself, I was like, okay, this is like perfect. I have 6 to 8 months where I pretty much don't have anything to do. So now I'm going to figure out what I can do to make money to the point where I can turn down this position because I was just absolutely just dreading this. I was dreading starting this job. I really did not want to. Um, so, and it was like the perfect timing because I'm looking for these different ways to make money online. And, I see all the stuff that's been being promoted for years, like drop shipping, SMMA, like all the different types of stuff. But then I saw a video about high level. I think it was from Dom. It was from Dom. And I'm like, okay, this seems like really cool. This software has so much value. Something kind of just clicked and I knew like this is the one that I want to completely just like devote all my time to. So that's what I did. I spent the next 6 to 8 months grinding it out. Like that's all I did every day, making a bunch of cold calls, learning the software, all that types of stuff. And yeah, and then by the time my job was supposed to be starting, I was already making a couple thousand a month at that point, to the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to continue with this. I'm going to turn down the job position and continue with this and just continue scaling it. And that's kind of how I ended up here.
That's wild and amazing. Did you know anybody in like your physical space before that had gone on a journey similar to yours in the digital marketing realm?
No, none of like my friends or family had done really anything in terms of social media. And most of my friends at the time were kind of doing all of the typical stuff that you would see like after college, just like basically graduate, interview, get a job, and do that. So it was a little weird because like none of my friends were doing anything similar to that. Um, but yeah, it was pretty much just me.
That's really cool. And I think it shows a ton of resilience on your end and the ability to kind of see that market and be able to dive in. When you saw Dom's video, so Dominic Baptist is who you're
Yep.
referring to. Okay. So when you saw Dom's video and then you started diving in, when can you explain a bit like what do you mean when you say it clicked? Like what potential did you see? Because I think a lot of people are like they see the power, but they don't get it quite yet. Like, can you explain that a bit where you were like, no, this is it?
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure like what it was that clicked, but what I think it was, because like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this when you're scrolling on social media there's so much noise. There's so many different people promoting all these different business models. Like I said, like drop shipping, SMMA, TikTok shop is now a big one, like all these different things. And it almost seems a lot of them are pretty saturated, I would say. There is a really big market, but a lot of them are kind of saturated. For whatever reason, I think it must have just been the amount of value, the amount of features that high level had. I was like, wow, like you don't really need many skills to get started. You can kind of like learn because the software at the end of the day is like the fulfillment for the most part. If you're doing like the SaaS model instead of like software with a service, for the most part, the software is the fulfillment. So you don't really need much experience. The software is really most of the value. So if you can just find someone that is looking to solve their problem of like getting more customers, needing help marketing, social media stuff, connect them with your software, get them set up and everything. It seemed just really scalable from the start, and it seemed really unique from everything else that I'd been seeing for so long. I was like, okay, something about this is different. I don't know what it is. Probably everything. It kind of clicked, and then yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna spend the next 6 to 8 months. It can't hurt. The worst thing that could happen is I'm just gonna end up taking the job position, and then yeah. So I think that's what it was that really clicked. It's just the amount of features and value that the software can provide.
Yeah. 6 to 8 months is pretty quick from not knowing about high level and the digital marketing online crowd like intimately to the stage at which you were at. Can you talk a bit about how you found, because you were just talking about how it's easy to just keep scrolling. Can you talk
Mhm.
a bit about how you figured out how you could stop the scroll as an affiliate?
Okay, so you're saying how I can stop the scroll in terms of me making content for the affiliate program?
Or for high level in general, yeah, either way, the way that you're able to create viral content.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a really good question. So it's kind of difficult to do that, and like basically it all comes down to just like testing different hooks and stuff like that. I think the most important part of any video, specifically short form, but really any piece of content, is the hook. So the first couple seconds of the piece of content. With a short form video, it's like 3 seconds. That first like 3 to 5 seconds. With a long form video, it could be like up to 30 seconds. Still haven't really cracked long form yet. That's something I'm working on. Um, but short form, I think I have a pretty solid understanding, and I think I kind of have the formula down pretty well. Um, One method that I think is really effective is actually using like a stitch. So you can find a video that's already gone viral in talking about the same topic that you want to talk about. So you could find, a video that talks about software. For example, I just posted one really recently, and it was, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where like the guy will run up to someone in a really nice car and say like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" Um, those videos tend to go really viral, but I found one where the guy in the car actually was selling software. So I was like, "This is perfect." So I cut the video at the first 3 seconds, where right after he said like, "Hey, I sell software," and he was sitting in, I forgot what car. It was a Bentley or something, a really nice car. His car was worth $250,000. So I just stitched the video. I put that video first, right after the first 3 seconds, stitch it and said, that car's worth $250,000. This guy got it from selling software. And then I kind of explained the whole model about how selling software works, how high level works. Um, so I think that's one really effective way to kind of make a video go viral, because you're already leveraging a piece of content that did go viral, and then you're kind of putting your own spin on it. So that's one really effective way.
I
Um,
love that. And for anyone who's not super familiar with social media, I think that the reason why that's able to be so powerful is because you're able to use an already trending piece of content. And stitching is when you're able to use it's a native feature within a lot of these short video apps. So like TikTok, Instagram, where you get a piece of that and then you add your content afterwards. And so the hook that's already proven because they're already viral is what you're essentially piggybacking off of in terms of helping people now have a tactical reason to continue watching. It's like, oh, now you already got them with the attention, and now you're getting them because now they're like, oh, this guy's actually showing me how to do it. Like they're getting that
Right.
educational aspect.
Right. And I would even say too, like that, and also kind of on a similar note, what you could do as well is I mean, they say stealing like an artist. So basically what they mean by that is you see a video, maybe in a different topic or a different niche or whatever, that also does really well. So this is kind of similar to like the Stitch method. And you would basically look at this script and you can write your own script in a very similar or based off of that script, because that script went viral. So for the most part, however that video was created, there's obviously a visual aspect to it as well, but for the script, I would say is like pretty important. It's very important. It's one of the most important pieces besides the hook, obviously. So you can kind of, again, leverage a piece of content that went really well, that's already proven to go viral, put your own spin on it, and it can even go more viral if you like putting your own spin on it. And I think both of those things together, you do that as a beginner and when you're starting out, then you can start to figure out, okay, now I'm kind of figuring out what causes these videos to go viral. Now I can completely go on my own, write my own completely new script, and you'll be able to make those videos go viral as well.
Totally, totally. I love that. And in fact, I think you've been able to figure out this formula so well that your account unfortunately got shut down, but you were able to replicate it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's like, I feel like pretty common in I don't know if it's just in like the make money online type of space, but from at least people I've spoken to in that space, getting your account suspended, getting videos taken down is very, very common for whatever reason. I don't actually know I guess it's like a sensitive topic because you can get into some gray areas and stuff. But yeah, I've dealt with countless times getting my accounts banned, and more recently actually on Instagram, which more so it happens I think on TikTok, but Instagram, it was kind of out of nowhere. My account was just banned. And they didn't give me a reason, they didn't tell me why. And I couldn't appeal it. I couldn't reach out to support. I couldn't do anything. So, and this was like right around, I think December. I had about 48, 50,000 followers on Instagram. This is around like mid December. And then that's when my account just gone. So I was pretty down for like 2 weeks. I was kind of just like trying to figure out how to get this account back. Um, and I tried pretty much everything. Actually, I definitely tried literally everything you could do to get the account back. Nothing worked. I even had a connection at Instagram. Literally nothing worked. Um, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start a new account and just, run it back up. So for the next couple weeks, so now it's December 29th. In a month, I was able to run my new Instagram back up to like, I think I'm probably at like 28,000 already in the span of like, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So that just goes to show like with experience, it doesn't really matter. You can always use those skills to kind of just rebuild your account or, whatever it may be.
Yeah, there's a quote. I wish I remember who it's from, but whenever you have to start over, you're not starting from zero, you're starting with experience, something like that.
100%.
That's exactly what you went through because there's no way, or I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's hard to go viral like that in 2 weeks. But you were able to definitely do it, which proves that you know what you're doing on the app for sure. For sure. So I think that one thing that a lot of newer affiliate marketers, influencer marketers, whatever, people that are going viral on social media don't realize though is the importance of getting your contacts off the app in case the app doesn't work, in case you get shut down, stuff like that. And you have a few ways of getting people off the app so that they could continue to be connected with you, right? Can you go a bit into those?
Yeah. So there's a couple different ways that you can kind of get people to convert into whatever you're trying to convert them into basically. So one thing that I think is really important is just getting them into some form of long form content. So the first step would just be like getting them at the very least to some form of long form content. So that could be a YouTube channel or just some where they can consume longer pieces of content, because then you're going to be building more trust and rapport with those people. So then they're going to be much more likely to convert, as opposed to if they just saw a 60-second video, they have no idea who you are. They don't know if they can trust you yet. Now they can watch a 10, 20, 30-minute video, or a couple of those. They can go through your YouTube channel and just binge watch all of your content. And then they're going to be exponentially more likely to convert. So just the content being long form is super important. And then something that I think is also really effective would be like a free course. So that's something I'm using right now, the free course. It's still long form content, but it's long form content that's designed to get people to convert. And also at the same time, you're going to get like their email, their phone number, and all that stuff. So you can always retarget later. Um, but those are two, I would say, really effective way. And the free course kind of works double because at the same time, it's a lead magnet. So like I said, you're going to get their phone number, email, and stuff, but you're essentially giving that as free value. So they're going to be more inclined. You're going to basically, that's going to be your call to action, or what you're going to tell the user or the viewer to do in your short form piece of content or your long form piece of content. You're going to say, hey, I have a free course. You can go sign up. You can start learning and get started today if you want to, if you just click the link in the description, or at the top of my profile, or wherever the link is. And then they're going to convert into that free course or long form content, and then hopefully end up converting into like a paying customer later on.
I love that. No, I think that that's really important. When did you launch your free course in respect to when you started?
So I actually, I'm pretty sure I launched the course at the same time I had started, which in hindsight, I probably should have just started, because that's like the best thing you could do is just start promoting regardless of what you have in place. You could always build that out after. But what I ended up doing was actually building the course out before I even started promoting. Which I guess it has, pros and cons to both. But so yeah, I had my course ready to go right when I got started, which was probably like in the affiliate program, probably like I want to say like a little over a year, maybe like a year and maybe a month or two.
Yeah. Would you say that that's the biggest mistake that you made on your affiliate marketing journey or no?
No, I would say definitely not. That might have been one of the mistakes, but I would say the biggest mistake, something which I kind of mentioned before. So I am working on trying to crack long form content. It's a little bit different than short form. Now, I have short form, like I said, pretty much down. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but the really cool thing about long form content, it's much more sustainable long term. So you can post a piece of short form content, and you can get that piece of content to go viral pretty quickly, but it's very short term. So the video will go viral for a week, and then it essentially doesn't get many views after that, like at all. So unless your video is searching really well, unless your short form video has really good SEO, like the description or whatever, it's going to be a very short-lived up and down. And it converts, but not as well as long form. So with long form, you have sustainability. Your video can get views for months and months and months consistently, and it can even go viral like later on. And it's a lot more sustainable. So something I really wish I did earlier was prioritize more of the long form content, because I spent so much time on the short form, and obviously it drove a good amount of conversions, but I don't think it would have been as efficient as if I had from the beginning been building out my long form the same way I'm doing it now. I think it would have been I would have been getting consistently more conversions now if I had done that. So I think that's probably my biggest mistake, was just relying on only short form instead of also getting that long form content in as well.
And to confirm, are you saying long form content specifically on YouTube or also the course, like just paying more attention there?
I would say specifically YouTube as a platform. Because I had the course pretty much built out for the most part. Um, and I would say because the course is more so on the back end, it doesn't get views unless you're driving traffic to it. But YouTube will actually push your videos out if you make a good video. So yeah, I was basically meaning more specifically the YouTube platform itself.
Got it. No, that totally makes sense. So, as you look at how you'll attack this next year, let's call it, is your biggest goal really to nail down long form content?
Yeah, I would say that's definitely my biggest goal is to nail the long form, stay consistent with the short form too. Cause I mean, what the short form is doing essentially is driving traffic to your long form. So it's really good for like building awareness and stuff. Um, but yeah, no, I'd say one of my biggest goals is consistently building out that long form, trying to uh crack the code on what can make a long form video go viral so I can replicate that and repeat it. And also just in that process, just from like trying different things, those videos may not do super well, but they're going to continue getting views over a long period of time. Like I said, they're just going to be more sustainable.
Absolutely. Other than making long form content, what's been the most challenging aspect of doing digital marketing?
I would say the most challenging aspect of doing digital marketing is kind of, I would say, staying consistent even at the points where like you're not seeing results. Because there's sometimes like you're not always gonna have videos go viral, especially when you're just starting. So it can definitely be difficult, like consistently posting for weeks at a time and not seeing many results at all, not seeing many conversions at all, but still being able to kind of just like power through it, continue like knowing like, okay, if I just keep working at this, keep trying to learn new things and improve on what I'm doing now, it's going to get better. I'm going to be able to drive more conversions. I'm going to build my skills. Um, because yeah, it does. It's not really a great feeling when you're posting video after video after video and you're just not driving as many conversions as you would like to. So I think that's probably in my experience like the most difficult part.
And what helps you through those difficult parts?
I would say probably just looking for me, looking back at like my past um time frames that I've had like a ton of conversions come in. So I'm like, all right, I've done it before. I know I can do it. And I have more experience now than I did before. So, it's really just a matter of time. So that's kind of what gets me through those time frames where I'm maybe not driving as many conversions as I want because you're not always going to be getting, you know, a million conversions in a month.
Absolutely. So you've been here in a few months, you will have been doing the digital marketing route for 2 years. Do you feel like you achieved the initial goal you set out to not work a 9 to 5? Is there anything else that you have on your list of things you want to accomplish in this space?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like I accomplished that goal. And yeah, I basically just want to continue doing this and continue setting new goals for myself to keep, building out my skills and my experience more, and just continue scaling what I'm doing, is really my main goal. So, basically just looking to improve a little bit month over month and kind of see where I can take it. That's my goal. And basically just the other thing is just enjoying the process. Cause if you don't enjoy doing it, there's really no reason to be doing it. So enjoying the process is another thing that I've learned to kind of enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like because at the beginning of this call you kind of said like you really put in a lot of work while your friends were out enjoying the post college era of just having a great time. Now, when you connect back with your friends, is it kind of like super exciting because they saw you kind of do all that work and then now you have freedom as well? Or is it still a bit weird to be explaining to people what you do?
Yeah, sometimes it can be a little weird. But I think it's still pretty cool. It does definitely give me like more freedom to do things where like, for example, if I wanted to like go on a trip on a certain week or whatever, it's easier to do that now. But at the same time, I feel like I always get there's always something to do. Like my friends are always trying to do stuff, and like I always want to go do the stuff with them, like go on a trip or go out this weekend. But I'm always trying to spend time. I really do enjoy spending time like working on my business. That's something I really do enjoy. So it can be difficult sometimes to like say no to all those other things. Sometimes, obviously, here and there, you can go out and have some fun and stuff, but um I try to spend as much time on my business, and like working out and stuff is something I enjoy doing in my free time. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I that sounds very healthy. It sounds like you've found your balance, but you're stoked about where you're at and you've just got a lot of gas on the engine to keep going forward on this route. So I'm super excited to see everything that you do. Super excited to see your new revamped course coming out and everything.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to anybody listening?
Um, yeah, no, I'm super excited for all that stuff as well. I would say to anyone listening, if you're thinking about, doing starting an online business really, or actually the one thing I will say, the one most important thing is like starting your own personal brand, and whatever type of business you're going to do, whatever online business, whether it be affiliate marketing or literally anything. I think the one thing you can do is start posting content, start posting on social media. So that is probably the one thing that like drastically improved my success and drastically just made a complete difference in my life. So I would say post content, even if at the beginning you feel weird, because it will feel weird. People will probably laugh. People will make fun of you and laugh at you, but like just post the content anyway, and you're gonna get better at it, and then it'll all work out.
Where can listeners find you, both your short form and long form content?
Yeah. So my YouTube is at Connor Zarou, and my TikTok and Instagram is at Connor Zarou Sass. My old one's got banned, so I just added the word Sass on the end.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining me and for going into how you've been able to replicate this virality in the digital marketing space, especially as an affiliate, over and over again. It's been great to have you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Till next time.